Chapter 35. How did you know we were here? Yushen said as they crawled out from behind the statue. The king gave a small, sad smile, the lantern in his hand casting a dark shadow on his face. This used to be my painting studio, he said, waving his hand at the pavilion. I know every branch and stone here. When I saw the shape of the shadow, I knew it was not right, even though I had not painted in a long while. I imagine your ink would just freeze now, Yushen said, with a slight undertone of annoyance. I stopped long before winter arrived, the king said. After I sent my son away, painting lost all its joy. We know about your son, Yushen said. Yana told us. The king frowned. Yana is a good girl, he said, but she has not yet learned restraint. Well, I think you could forgive her for that, Yushen said, considering she was running around the army camp for you pointlessly. No prisoner here, Yushen answered. Pointlessly, the king said, only the slightest question in his voice. No prisoners here, Yushen answered. Yana said they've been sent to the vast wall already. The king bowed his head and his hand covered his brow. Then all is lost, he said, his eyes closing. What more can he take away from me? Who? Yushen said. The emperor, of course, the king said. He shook his head in disgust and sighed, a sound low, but filled with fury. He's a beast, not a man. He could create a sea with all the blood he has spilled, and is still spilling. The vast wall is just a vast grave maker. What do you mean? Yushen asked. I am told, the king said, sagging like the winter branches weighed by snow, that the workers are treated worse than slaves, and the emperor has the fallen bird under the wall. Pinmi looked at him in horror. But Lady Ming's husband, Pinmi whispered. The king nodded, his head hanging with grief. And now, he said, in a voice that cracked, my own son. The wind blew a low moan, the beginning note of a lament song. I knew it was a vain hope to look for him, the king said finally, lifting his head, but I could not refuse Yana's offer. I hope she is safe. I do too, Pinmi said, and the king's eyes looked directly at her for the first time. I think I will soon be having the same wish for both of you as well, the king said, his shoulders straightening, and if he were awakening. Why are you two children here? Thank you for listening and have a good weekend.